Hi everybody, I'm Sydney Griffith. It's so good to be with you all. So I'll start by sharing briefly about my background, which is in community organizing work, permaculture action, natural building events, building the capacity of local community centers to house people affordably, feed people healthy food grown on site, and teach skills around conflict resolution, governance, how we can co-create and support each other with meeting our basic needs. So after being challenged with accessing traditional capital to do that work, I pivoted to the world of philanthropy. How do we unlock resources and flow them directly to grassroots change makers? And that brought me to Kinship Earth, where we're doing flow funding. Is anybody familiar with flow funding as a term? A few hands. So it's basically trust-based philanthropy. It's unrestricted capital. And instead of asking change makers to conform to what wealth holders think needs to happen on the ground and asking them to fill out extensive grant applications, instead, we identify change makers who are doing great things in their local communities, and we invite them to receive capital to deploy however they see fit. And then after a year of deploying resources per the needs of their local communities and ecosystems, we ask for their stories of impact. We're also taking a bioregional approach, which means we're focused on funding place-based change makers, as well as bioregional organizing groups. Are you all familiar with bioregionalism, the bioregional movement? So for those of you who aren't, bioregions are defined by the natural ecosystems and landscapes and watersheds and cultural identities and heritages of people and place, instead of defining place by political and economic boundaries. So this means we're funding change makers who are operating and organizing at the intersection of challenges in their communities and inviting them to decide collectively how to deploy capital. So to answer your question about examples, we have deployed over 18 flow funding grants across 12 different bioregions focused on funding change makers, focused on Indigenous sovereignty, food sovereignty, social equity, and again, we're trusting them to deploy. So this could mean giving someone funds to fix their car so that they can go travel and do their social activism work. It can mean that they're funding purchasing a freeze dryer so that they can freeze food and have lasting food over the winter. There's a variety of different ways that groups are using this capital, and we're also deploying grants to flow funding organizations or groups that are already practicing this approach and methodology to giving.
Nice move.